Welcome back to the Acoustic Shop channel. We are here today to talk guitars, Jeremy.
This is the original G guitar.
This is the G. This
OG.
is the OG. No, this is a Gallagher guitar. This is the Jim Hurst model, and we're going to talk about it just after this.
Welcome back to you guys that are watching at home, at work. This is the best place to watch this channel at work. This is safe for work, so be sure to watch this channel while you're supposed to be working. We do a lot of cool guitar reviews, mandolin reviews, performances, guest performance. We have game shows on here every now and then. So if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do so, because we have all kinds of cool stuff coming this year, especially.
Yeah.
It's going to be doubly cool as it was last year, so make sure you subscribe to it. If you want to skip the talking, you don't really want to hear about the specs, you can read about those somewhere else. We do have a full version of that song recorded on here where John had to finger pick.
Jolene. Yes, I
struggled through
tried.
it, but he made it, I think.
Wow.
Anyway, put your comments how much you enjoyed John's playing on that song.
I will say, we're going to talk
But one
about...
last thing, you can skip to the end of the video if you want the tone samples as well. Those are at the very end, but we have a link in the description below, so you can skip all the talking. But yeah, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, we're going to talk about the Jim Hurst guitar. I have even more respect for Jim than I did before. I had to try to figure out how to finger pick that melody, and we learned it on the fly, and it almost came together. It took a lot. These guys sitting with the cameras are just like, oh my God, one more time, really? Are you gonna make me listen to that again? Yeah, well, that's what it takes. But we.
If you guys are unfamiliar with Jim Hurst, just a phenomenal guitar player. Just so innovative and creative the way he plays, and can do a solo man show with just him and his guitar.
And he plays a lot with a thumb pick. So many different styles. He's a big Jerry Reed fan, plays some of the Jerry Reed stuff, sock rhythm, finger picking stuff. That's why I tried to attempt that for you. And that brings us to why we got this guitar in here. This is the Jim Hurst model, and it's really funny. Those of you who have been following the channel know we have really got into Gallagher guitars over the last year and a half, 2 years now. When we met up with David and the team, we do a lot of really cool stuff with him. And one day I was calling actually over there and talking to David, who's the owner of the company, and we're talking about a guitar and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, hey, somebody wants to talk to you. And I'm like, all right, who's this? And I gets on the phone and he goes, hey, John, it's Jim. And I hadn't seen Jim in probably, 3-4 years. We hadn't seen him in a while. But Jim Hurst is a fantastic guitar player, a really kind man, really into it, and is actually part of the Gallagher forum on Facebook, too. He gets very involved, and he's been a Gallagher player for a very long time. He has an old original, I believe, Gallagher guitar that he'd been playing and touring with. And then they built him his own model, and that's what this is today. The Jim Hurst model consists of a mahogany back inside, Adirondack spruce top, which is a departure from the original Gallagher's. That's the reason why he wanted it in there. And like I say in the description for this guitar, it's built to be a versatile guitar for a versatile guitar player like Jim. It is a slope shoulder dread, so it does have a little bit less of that punchy upper mid-range, a little bit sweeter bottom end. It's a different sound than what you would get out of their square shoulder dreads.
So maybe a dreadnought that lends itself a little bit better to the fingerstyle guitar playing, and also can have that thumb pick and flat pick and stuff. So like I said,
a little bit of everything kind of guitar. And I think they excelled with that. It really is. It's a lot like a Doc Watson, except for slope-shouldered, Adirondack spruce top. But other than that, similar. Now, I don't know. I think the voicing is quite a bit different. I don't know if that is the Slope D or if they're actually voicing it different than they are the Doc Watson model, which we do get in here from time to time. Fantastic flat-picking guitar. This does have the shallower tuners. It's comfortable to play. It does give you an 1 3/4 and definitely can be played with a flat pick too. And I think it has a kind of softer, more mellow. It's got a sweet low end, but it's a softer, more mellow type of
not overpowering.
low end. Yeah, it's not real like jumpy out there, even though it is an Adirondack spruce top. Kind of gives you a little bit different tone.
I think it's always cool when an artist as well versed as someone like Jim can work hand in hand with a smaller builder to kind of get what they're looking for out of a guitar, what they look for in a guitar,
Sure.
and then have them reproduce it under their name. So I think that's really cool. He did work directly with them back and forth to get this model the way he wanted it, which I think is a really cool thing, especially if you're a fan of Jim Hurst, but also if you're just looking for a specific tone that is very versatile. You switch back and forth between finger picking and with thumb pick, or just standard finger picking or flat picking. This is a really good option out there.
I would agree. I definitely think this is one that, like you said, versatile, comfortable. It does have the 1 3/4 neck, yet it's not a big, beefy neck. It's very, shallow feeling. If you're looking for something that has more width than it has depth, this is definitely a comfortable one there. So again, a really cool guitar. Another one of those Gallagher kind of cool offshoots. We've been really getting into the fact that they're doing things just a little bit different than some of the other guitar builders out there, and glad to have it. So one more time, I'm going to go over the specs. Mahogany back and side, does have the tortoise binding, ebony bridge, ebony fretboard, 1 3/4 nut width in a slope shoulder dread with that Adirondack top. Just, a little more punchy with sweet. It's like this, it's the sweet and salty all at the same time there.
They come with a very nice TKL case,
Yep.
One of their higher quality cases. So just a great overall guitar, especially for built in Tennessee, for those people looking for a U.S. build and kind of a boutique level, and one that is kind of a legacy brand too, for especially people that are around that Midwest flat picking world will remember the original Gallagher guitars, and really glad that they've kind of picked that name back up and are carrying that tradition.
Absolutely. Great guitars by Gallagher, and this is Jim Hurst. What we're going to do now is get you a little tone sample of it. Well, there you have it, Jer. Another powerhouse dreadnought with a different, unique tone. Gallagher's really kind of coming together as a company, and glad to have them back into the elite guitar world. They're really doing a great job.
Yeah, and I think Jim obviously had what he was looking for in a guitar, and I think they pulled it off to his expectations.
Absolutely.
If you guys want to learn more about Gallagher guitars, we've done a few reviews on these. We had the Doc Watson in here before, the Doc Watson signature guitar.
In fact, you know what? We're going to put a link to that one right there. The Doc Watson signature model, that was a super cool guitar, had a little bit of custom extra features on it, and we'll put a link to that right
here. It's right up here, guys. Make sure you click on that, and we'll see you guys on the next review we do. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I can't wait to see you guys again.
Review we do.